Dragons. These mythical creatures have captivated the human imagination for millennia. Across cultures and continents, dragons hold a prominent place in mythology and art. Their enduring presence speaks to a deep-seated fascination. Why are we so drawn to dragons? Perhaps it is their sheer power and enigmatic nature. Whatever the reason, dragons continue to fascinate and inspire us. The roots of dragon legends can be traced back to the dawn of human civilization. In the fertile valleys of Mesopotamia, where writing was born and cities first rose, ancient peoples whispered tales of monstrous serpents and fearsome dragons. These creatures, often depicted as serpentine or reptilian, inhabited the primordial chaos. One of the earliest dragon myths comes from ancient Sumer, where Gilgamesh battles Humbaba. Humbaba, with his roar like a flood and fiery breath, embodies nature's raw power. In Babylon, the dragon Tiamat, a goddess of chaos, features in the creation myth. Tiamat, a multi-headed dragon, represents disorder and destruction. These myths reflect ancient fears of nature's forces. Dragons embodied the dangers of the unknown wilderness. They reminded humanity of the fragile balance with nature. As civilizations blossomed in the East, so too did the dragon mythos evolve, taking on distinct characteristics and symbolism in different cultures. In China, dragons emerged as powerful and benevolent creatures, deeply intertwined with the forces of nature and the cosmos. Unlike their fearsome Western counterparts, Chinese dragons were revered as symbols of good fortune, wisdom, and prosperity. Chinese dragons, often depicted as long serpentine creatures with 4 legs and a scaly serpentine body, were believed to control the elements, bringing rain, wind, and thunder. They were associated with the heavens and the emperor, who was considered the son of heaven. Dragons symbolized imperial power, authority, and divine right to rule. These benevolent dragons were believed to bring good luck, prosperity, and protection. They were often depicted on clothing, pottery, and architecture, their images warding off evil spirits and attracting good fortune. Even today, the dragon dance remains a vibrant tradition in Chinese culture, a colorful and energetic performance meant to celebrate good luck and prosperity. In contrast to their Eastern counterparts, dragons in Western mythology took on a more sinister and fearsome persona. These fire-breathing beasts, often depicted as winged reptiles with sharp claws, powerful tails, and an unquenchable thirst for gold, became symbols of greed, destruction, and chaos. Western dragons were often portrayed as guardians of treasure, hoarding vast riches in their lairs, which could range from dark caves to towering castles. They posed a constant threat to humans, their fiery breath capable of incinerating entire villages, and their sharp claws tearing through armor with ease. The archetype of the Western dragon as a fearsome adversary is perhaps best exemplified in the legend of St. George, the patron saint of England. The story tells of St. George slaying a monstrous dragon that terrorized a village, demanding human sacrifices. St. George's victory over the dragon became a symbol of courage, faith, and the triumph of good over evil. In the Americas, indigenous cultures developed unique dragon myths. These dragons, often depicted as feathered serpents, played significant roles in cosmology and mythology. The feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl symbolized the union of heaven and earth. Quetzalcoatl, associated with knowledge, played a crucial role in creation myths. In South America, the Inca told tales of Amaru, a colossal dragon-like serpent. Amaru symbolized the power of the earth and the underworld. As centuries passed and cultures interacted, dragon myths spread and evolved, their stories carried by travelers, merchants, and conquerors. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes connecting East and West, served as a conduit for the exchange of ideas, goods, and stories, including tales of these mythical creatures. The interaction between different cultures led to a blending of dragon lore, with elements from one tradition influencing and shaping the myths of another. For example, the concept of the dragon as a guardian of treasure, prevalent in Western mythology, may have been influenced by contact with Eastern cultures, where dragons were often associated with wealth and prosperity. The evolution of dragon lore also reflects the changing beliefs and values of societies. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, dragons, once revered as powerful beings, were increasingly demonized, their image twisted to represent the forces of evil and chaos that challenged the Christian worldview. During the Middle Ages in Europe, Dragons became deeply ingrained in heraldry, literature, and art, their images adorning coats of arms, illuminating manuscripts, and inspiring tales of chivalry and adventure. Dragons, often depicted as fearsome beasts with scaly hides, sharp claws, and fiery breath, became symbols of power, strength, and ferocity. In heraldry, the dragon became a popular charge, representing martial prowess, courage, and a formidable lineage. Kings and knights incorporated dragons into their coats of arms, associating themselves with the creature's awe-inspiring power and strength. However, dragons also carried a strong religious connotation during the Middle Ages. In Christian art and literature, dragons were often depicted as embodiments of Satan, their serpentine forms and fire-breathing abilities representing the temptations and dangers of the devil. The dragon became a symbol of sin, heresy, and the forces of evil that challenged Christian faith. As Europe emerged from the Middle Ages and entered the Renaissance, a period of renewed interest in classical art, literature, and philosophy, dragons continued to captivate the imagination, their images evolving to reflect the changing artistic and cultural landscape. Renaissance artists, inspired by classical mythology and the natural world, began to depict dragons with greater anatomical accuracy, their bodies more serpentine and their movements more lifelike. Dragons graced paintings, sculptures, and tapestries, their images reflecting both the fear and fascination they inspired. In literature, dragons continued to play prominent roles in epic poems, romances, and folktales. From the fire-breathing dragon in Beowulf to the fearsome Smaug in J.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, dragons remained symbols of adventure, danger, and the unknown. The 20th century witnessed the rise of fantasy literature, a genre that embraced the fantastical, the magical, and the mythical. Dragons, with their rich history and enduring appeal, found a natural home in this genre, their images evolving and diversifying to meet the demands of new stories and imaginative worlds. Authors like J.R.R. Tolkien, Anne McCaffrey, and Ursula K. Le Guin breathed new life into dragon lore, creating complex and nuanced portrayals of these creatures. Dragons were no longer simply monstrous adversaries or symbols of evil, but became complex characters with their own motivations, desires, and even cultures. The advent of film and television further cemented the dragon's place in popular culture. From the stop-motion animation of Ray Harryhausen's creatures to the CGI marvels of Game of Thrones, dragons roared onto the screen, captivating audiences with their awe-inspiring presence and spectacular abilities. Today, dragons continue to thrive in popular culture, their images ubiquitous in movies, television shows, video games, graphic novels, and even anime. From the fearsome Smaug in the Hobbit film trilogy to the majestic Drogon in Game of Thrones, dragons continue to capture our imaginations and inspire awe and wonder. In video games, dragons often serve as formidable bosses, challenging players with their fiery breath, sharp claws, and immense strength. From The Elder Scrolls v Skyrim to Monster Hunter World, dragons have become synonymous with epic battles and challenging gameplay. Graphic novels and comics have also embraced the dragon, incorporating these mythical creatures into superhero stories, fantasy epics, and even slice-of-life narratives. Dragons have become versatile characters, capable of embodying a wide range of traits, motivations, and roles. From the ancient myths of China to the modern fantasies of Hollywood, dragons have left an indelible mark on human culture. Their stories, passed down through generations, continue to captivate and inspire, their images emblazoned on everything from ancient pottery to modern movie posters. But what is it about dragons that continues to fascinate us? Perhaps it is their sheer power, their ability to soar through the heavens and unleash fiery destruction. Or maybe it is their enigmatic nature, their existence at the intersection of the natural and supernatural worlds. Whatever the reason, dragons continue to hold a special place in our collective imagination. They embody our hopes and fears, our dreams and nightmares, our fascination with the unknown and the unknowable. As long as humans tell stories, dragons will continue to breathe fire into our myths, legends, and fantasies. Their legacy, much like their fiery breath, shows no signs of fading away.